Howdy, I hope you're doing well. Today on the Bygone Times, we have something different, a little different than our usual fare, which is looking at antiques. This is not quite an antique. It was published or made in 1987, but it still kind of fits the ethos of looking at items and thoughts and mores from times gone by, in this case the 80s. This is a kind of a paper mache book that is hardened into kind of a sculpture. We've got a bookmark here that doesn't lift up any farther than that. And it is from a series called Books of Love from a poet named Judith Bond. She wrote several books in this Books of Love series, I think with her mother, and she eventually contracted with Hallmark to sell the books in the Hallmark stores. And it kind of tells us here about the Books of Love. So those Books of Love are old-fashioned way to express the sentiments that are very often but seldom spoken. They are made from real books that have been rescued from the jaws of the incinerator and subjected to the 9 separate processes, and thus given a new life in the form of this unique gift. Each step is done entirely by hand, and as a result, no two books can ever be exactly alike. Many of our verses and our prints are created exclusively for Books of Love by artist-poet Judith Bond, and are only available from our company. Due to the handmade nature of our product, subtle variations and irregularities are to be expected, and indeed desired, and only add to the one-of-a-kind originality of this singular and personal gift. Alright, so there's kind of about the Books of Love, and I can't remember if I turned it over or not, but it is stiff because they've made it out of a real book and hardened it through their 9-step process. And then we have a poem featured here in the book called What Mom Took. Most often, when we think of Mom, we think of what she's given. The softness of a loving touch, a gentle guide for living, a nightly tiptoe in a room, an understanding look. But sometimes when I think of Mom, I think of what she took. She took a child and taught it how to live this life with pride. She took those kindergarten tears and kept them all inside. She took the hands that longed to hold her child and not let go, used them to push her child along the way to thrive and grow. Took time to do some other things like sew and clean and cook. I never thought to ask for thanks for all the things she took. Thanks, Mom. That's a nice, sweet memory, a good way to kind of slow down in this fast-paced world of ours and remember the bygone times. Thank you.